didn't say Larry.
Are we good? Are you good? Me? Don't yell at me. I'm making sure everyone is.
I was just giving the yellow thumbs up.
Oh, I'm loud. It's fine.
Is Joe ready? Yes, he is.
Yeah, he should give me the thumbs up. Looks like he's ready.
There's a red light.
Okay, it is 6 o'clock on November 13th, 2024, calling the regular November board meeting to order, noting Stacy Mazurik is absent. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, first up are our guests, recognition and public comment. So, who do you want to start with?
Mrs. Black.
Ms. Black? Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Full house tonight.
I know.
I wanted to take a minute to recognize some students that are here tonight. If I miss anyone when I say your names, I'm very sorry. Come on up if you think I missed your name. I am recognizing our students who were nominated by our staff members, so either teachers or other adults in the building, for showing respectful behavior all throughout the first quarter. So, when I say your name, come on up, stay up here, right? We're taking a picture?
Yes.
Okay.
It'll be on the website. I'm not giving you my personal cell phone number, but it'll be on the website, I promise.
So, come on up, Scarlett. Taryn. Right over here, Andy. Autumn. Ellen. Otto. Max. Harper. Maxine. Is there anyone else who may have snuck in? If you notice, there are a couple gentlemen sporting a very bright orange shirt. Those are the shirts that all of our students get when they win our Student of the Quarter. So why don't you guys get together? Here. You come and sit right over here.
And hold your sign to show your parents. Hold it out. Where they
We're going to make two rows, tall in the back, shorter in the front.
I'll be out of the way 1 second. I'll let parents run up here and take as many pictures as they like.
Right here, seeing right here. Right around this way. Boys and girls, make sure you're holding it right here. Perfect.
That is a well-directed group right here. All right, let's do one silly one just for fun. Give me a silly one. Not you, Mr. Herman. All right. Here's one of you. Want to take a picture, please?
Stay right there. Don't cover your face. All right, are we good? All right, congratulations, guys. Go ahead.
Do you want to just go separate each group so that way they kind of, or do you want to do it to the end?
Wait till they get them all.
Your meeting.
Wait till they get them all.
Love it.
Who do we have next?
Let's go with,
Golf?
sure, is Mr. Surf in here?
They're still,
Meeting.
Let's go with Mr. Du Bois. He's over there. He's eagerly wanting to speak. Come on, Mr. Du Bois.
I'm I'm here tonight to honor our junior high baseball team. We finished with a record of 18-6, and we did something that our program has never done. We finished 4th at state, which again, this is in program history, so this predates me as a coach. It goes back to the old coach. The furthest we've ever made it before was the Elite 8, and this group was a little exceptional. They made it to the Final Four, so it was awesome. It was a great season that went. So I'm going to call people down here one by one. Do we have the certificate? Oh, you're going to hand them out? Yeah. Oh. Sorry. All right. I'm going to start with the 8th graders, Dominic Camilleri.
Yeah, just so you know, they're in some random order, so good luck, Coach.
Sorry.
Had you told me, I would have got it in order for you.
Easton Lane. All right, let's stand over that one. All right, Gavin Van Ness. Mikey's there. Next we go to our 7th graders. We got Anthony or AJ Bruno. Mason Head. Dario Nunes. Carter Swaznicka.
So was mine.
Ethan McKnight. Let's see here, we got Enrique Mendoza. All right, then we're going to our 6th grade group. We got Colton Hansen.
Is our participation?
Caleb Hipke.
Yeah, we do. Good over here. Like even drinking.
All right, we got Josh Flickman. Braden Woznicka. Camden Lane.
Mr. Kicker! Mr. Kicker! Cam! Yeah.
AJ Murphy. Lucas Nelagar. Easton Smith. The last two that we have are our high school managers that helped out the entire season. These guys were they were priceless in the amount of knowledge they gave to these players, and I can't thank them enough for helping me out. So we have Noah Hansen and Paul Connor.
Alright, let's go.
You guys are gonna have to crouch down. Take a knee.
Slide in there.
For the whole world to see. I guess we don't need to stand. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Oh, that's okay.
In my 20 years of education, I've learned never to ask junior high kids that clear, so go ahead.
Eighth graders, start on your tippy toes.
Board members, stand on your toes.
Oh, no. We're already too short. We're too short.
We're good.
It's all about that.
Yep.
Hang tight, hang tight.
Good job, fellas.
Miss Swanson, I believe you're next. Casey? You're next. Huh?
Come on down.
Like all of our other coaches. We are fun.
My girls are using Beecher colors.
That's all right.
Oh, thank you. Girls, if I'm up here, you guys want me to.
All right, Casey, give it 1 second. I think some people have chosen to leave early. Rachel, you want me to come up? What I found out in life, most things just work out. Positive attitude. All right, Dr. Quasi, do you have Miss Swanson's teams? Or Swanson has them.
They're ready to go.
Oh, okay.
She bought them. Okay. Hi, I'm Casey Swanson, the junior high cross country coach. And as a coach, I've had the privilege of coaching these girls for the last 3 years, and I couldn't be prouder of Molly and Rachel for advancing to state finals this year. This is Molly's first time advancing to state and Rachel's third. These two incredible athletes have dedicated their entire season and fall to a rigorous training, running countless miles and intervals in the heat as much as they complained about them. They spent the season training together and leading the team within workouts and training, and both girls ended up placing top 10 in all of their races throughout the season, with Rachel winning, I think, just about every single one. Their hard work paid off spectacularly, with Molly placing 6th with a time of 13 minutes and 12 seconds, which is averaging about a 6:30 mile, and Rachel placing 4th with a time of 13:02, which is averaging about a 6:20 mile. In comparison, their speeds are about 9 miles per hour. Rachel is about a 9.5 miles per hour for their 2-mile race. Beyond their own achievements, Molly and Rachel have been true inspirations to their younger athletes on their team, setting high expectations for these upcoming athletes. You girls will truly be missed next season. Good luck in your high school careers. This is Molly.
100%, Miss Swanson. When you sign the
Take a picture.
sign the agreement to be a
You
coach.
tell him. She's fine.
Oh, it's all good.
How are junior high kids taller than you?
Hair looks great, ladies. All right, go ahead, parents.
Oh, you gotta stay so you get there.
God, roll those eyes.
I believe we're on to
Well, cross
Golf
country's
and
here.
cross country, right?
Cross country can talk. But
Yeah.
she's not here. They can at least stay there.
all right. We'll do Miss Burdick is not here, right? She's not. But
Well, you can
coach
leave-
is going up and talk about Miss
Yeah.
Burdick, and then
Yeah.
I've got her certificate. All right, sounds good. Yeah, Brooklyn's not here. She's sick, but she made state for the 3rd time this year. It was her best year too. Her 3 state finishes. She finished 91st, 77th, and then this year 75th, and this year she knocked it all the way up to 33rd place. She ran like almost 18 flat at the state race, which is about 6 minutes per mile for 3 straight miles on a course that's not flat. It's not on a track. It's not perfect conditions. It's a little muddy. I mean, it's really, really impressive stuff. Brooklyn's been amazing for the 4 years she's run cross country. Not just her individual accomplishments, but the way that she pushes her team, the example that she sets. I mean, what she's done for the cross-country team will certainly be felt for years and years to come. She's also two-time RBC individual champ. She's won the team RBC championship 3 times, and that's because 1 year it wasn't held. Her accomplishments are pretty much endless in this sport. She's been the best cross-country runner we've had for quite a while, maybe like 7 or 8 years since we've seen a 33rd place finish or better. So it's really great. I wish she was here to accept this honor, but she's been here the last 2 years, not the first.
Mr. Smolson, did you want your picture taken?
Yes, you
Parents? All right, and then last but certainly not least is our golf team. Golf. Mr. Seraphin?
Do I get to pull them up right away, or should I just announce who's here with me?
However you would like to do it, the floor is
Well,
yours.
let's get our seniors do. Up here. Jackson Reese.
They all just started coming.
Oh, they're following me.
Yeah, you got little
Shadowing me. Peyton Seraphin, Ben Clario, Danny Valos, Jayden Weissauer, and Charlie Nowak.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna stand up for that.
You don't want to get drowned out by,
Like junior high kids were taller than I am, so like what can
And
I
if
do?
you know Max Vladeck, he's a freshman, he's like 6'1", 200 pounds already. He's
Find me tomorrow.
You look great. Good job, glad to see you were about the same size as somebody else, because I remember everybody. So I didn't prepare anything, but what I would like to say about this group in particular is that we, coming into the season, we weren't quite sure what we were going to have. Some predictions were we weren't going to be as good as we were last year, and we blew that out of the water. We set a new school scoring record, confirmed by Mr. Ratliff. 1987 or so, somebody shot a 309 as a school team. We blew that out of the water by shooting 304 as a team this year. We had consistent scores. We had 2 guys with scores under 80 7 times each. We had another guy 3 times or 4 times under 80. We had another guy who was 5 times under 80. We have all conference honors. We have regional honors. We have regional medal winners. We won regionals for the 7th time in a row. I believe it's our 13th regional title in the last 15 years or something like that. We won sectionals for the 2nd time in school history. And a couple of players this year, unfortunately, we did not make it. We made it to state again for the 2nd time in in 2 years. Unfortunately, the team did not make it through this year, but we did have 2 individuals who made it to the 2nd day of play. I hate the fact that the state has now made this cut line where the kids work all season long to get to that state finals. That is the ultimate. You've made it to state. Fantastic. By the way, you're not playing tomorrow. I don't like that, but we did have 2 guys who made it through in Jackson Reese and Peyton Seraphin. Jackson improved on his scores from last year when he was there and finished 56th overall this year. And Peyton had all-state honors, finishing 3rd in the state this year with a couple of rounds of 73, our lowest in school history. This team, from the beginning of the year through the course of the year, set standards, which I will say, certainly in my tenure, which is 1 more year, will never be beaten, I doubt. We'll see what happens with next year. We're going to need some 75s and 73s out of these young men that are standing in front of you, minus the 2 that we will lose. Congratulations to you guys. It's been such a pleasure to be in front of you, to coach you, to hang around with you, to hear crazy jokes on those long bus rides. It's been a lot of fun, and congratulations to all of you guys.
Yeah, I got it. George.
Oh, we're trying
Get up there.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel short.
And then you have my note right in front of me.
Hey, George, by the way.
Really?
Maybe our heads will be in between.
And you
They like 3 steps back, Jens.
do we make a? It's hard. How about if we do this? Let's take a knee.
Oh, there you go.
Take a knee.
We were just gonna go in between.
I know. It's
George, stay right where you are.
Yes, sir. All right, here we go. Fantastic. Parents going in there.
Oh,
You gotta stay for your parents. Nope, stay.
No, you're too young to groan when you get up from underneath.
hey, can you squat down a little bit? I think the Bears finally scored. Is that what the announcement was?
Okay, good to go.
Thank you.
To my golf parents, I said at the beginning, I'll say it again. All these pictures will be on the school's webpage, underneath the school board site. So if you didn't get a picture or you want to see my wonderful photography skills, that's where they'll be located. Oh, we have two more who showed up for the elementary.
I have two came in right after I got finished, so receiving two additional elementary students receiving kindness awards, Victoria Miranda and Jack McCarthy. Come on up. Congratulations.
Okay, here we go. At least I'm taller than this bunch.
We got this one made.
There we go, guys, yep. Holding your certificate right where you should.
Oh, you guys are so much shorter than the last group. Nice job, guys. Parents?
Parents, look.
Wait.
Wait, you gotta keep, hold on.
Okay.
Okay, is that all of them?
I believe
We cover everything.
we're all set, right, Mr. Du Bois?
Yeah, there's no other.
Okay, yep, we're good.
Good, okay, all right. We always say you're more than welcome to stay for the meeting, but we understand if you would not like to. Thank you for coming and great job on your guys' awards. That was exciting. That was a lot. That's a lot.
My dad is pulling my phone now.
Okay, so that is our guest, our recognition. Next is our public comment. We have one public comment from Mr. Solo Pena. She just said it back.
Good evening, everybody. Philippine Beecher. Great graduates, almost one halfway there. So I'm going to start on a positive, okay? So I don't know if any of you know, if you don't, 3 of our Beecher youth traveled to Greece and Portugal for World Karate Tournament. Okay? Joe Huskisson, Jenna Huskisson, and Hunter Old. As I said, 3 of our Beecher youth. Not only representing our community, representing our country as Team USA, as part of Team USA. Okay, Joe returned with 2 gold, 1 silver, 4 bronze. Jenna returned with 4 gold, 6 silver. And Hunter, 10 years old, who made his debut at his first World in Greece and second debut in Portugal within a week of each other, returned home with 1 gold, 5 silver, and 2 bronze. We had a parade for him on Thursday. Great turnout. Thank you to everybody that came. The village mayor, Marcy Meyer, was there. Presented each student with a certificate of appreciation along with George Obradovich from the township. So again, this is a program that's been running for 20 years in this community by Sensei Juan Hernandez. Some of you may not know Sensei is a graduate of this school. And something I forgot, back in the 80s, Sensei Juan not only taught at the, what's now the Inako Dojo, I believe I'm pronouncing that right, in town here, but there was a fitness center there that he also taught at, okay? I was a student there, and he said, hey, why don't you come to karate? I said, Sensei, I said, I don't have the money for it. He goes, just show up, don't worry about it. Okay, not only that, Coach K, Mr. Krazan, also brought Sensei Juan in after he graduated from here to teach karate as part of the curriculum at 0 charge. Now, as I mentioned before, other Beecher youth programs have a board liaison. And as I've said before, I don't understand why Team PAC does not have a liaison. My understanding, the purpose of these programs are to benefit our youth. in the history of Beecher, I can't think of any other program in this town that has done what Sensei One has done for our youth. If anybody can enlighten me on that, I'd appreciate it. Because I've been here for a long time. I know Mr. Herman's been here for a long time. So, I don't quite understand, and like I said, this is my third time addressing the board on the liaison issue. There has been no response, and if there has, please enlighten me. But to my knowledge, there's been no response. I guess a non-response is kind of a response, but I don't think it's an acceptable one, or appropriate one. Like I said, Sensei's been here a long time, more than 20 years, and this 20 years is this program. So, and I know this is a public comment and not a ask and answer, but if this is something the board does not want to entertain or consider, then just say so. And just give a reason why. Because as parents, taxpayers, whatever you want to call us, we don't come up here just to hear ourselves talk. We want results. We want action. We want a response. That's all we're asking for. And if it's something this board doesn't want to entertain, which I don't understand why, considering what Sensei has done for this community and for this youth, because, again, my understanding is it's for the benefit of the kids in this town. I pretty much grew up here. There was not a lot for us to do in this town growing up. And really, there's, as far as, you know, what we do have in town, it's kind of limited. I mean, obviously, we don't have football. But again, here's something that these kids have been given the opportunity. They've earned this opportunity because they worked very hard to get where they're at, to represent our country and our community. They're traveling worldwide. Other students have been to Ireland, Florida. They're competing against other countries. So, and I know last school board meeting, I believe it was Ms. Bell who said it was her idea to bring these liaisons as part of the board. And I don't know if she's in charge of it or makes a decision, but all I'm asking for is a response.
That's the end of your 3 minutes. I know we're not supposed to address, but at the last board meeting, at the liaisons, I answered all of those questions and addressed you. So
Was I here the last board meeting?
yeah, you had another comment anyway at the liaison time when I addressed it, it's in there. So it is on video? Was that on video?
If it was a board meeting, I
Yeah.
understand something.
So it should be on video on that, yeah. We tried them this year, I picked them, how I picked them, why and all that. So yeah, that was answered, but maybe you didn't stay. You may have had to leave, but I don't remember that part.
I may have.
But it was the last board meeting.
Okay, I will
Yep.
go back and review.
Oh.
I'm locked out of my computer.
Oh.
So I have to go meet my son. Thank you.
You're,
Joe, have him hit control delete. His computer's broken.
I did that already.
okay, so next is the approval of board minutes. So I need a motion to approve the regular board meeting minutes of October 9th, 2024 as submitted.
So moved.
Second.
Belt. Yes. Flores.
Yes.
Mazurik.
Yes.
Flickling.
Yes.
Duchenko.
Yes.
Hanson.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next up, I need a motion to approve the executive session board meeting minutes of October 9th, 2024 as submitted.
So moved. Second.
Flores.
Yes.
Mazurik.
Yes.
Flickling.
Yes.
Duchenko.
Yes.
Hanson.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Belt. Yes, motion carries. I need a motion to approve the November 2024 expenses as submitted.
So moved. Second.
Just so, I'm sure you saw it, there's a substantial payment in there. That is our first principal payment and the yearly one of 2 interest payments. So that's why that looks a little larger than normal. And if I'm not mistaken, you should also see the final GRP large sum in there. There's a change order that's come in that will be in December, but that's minute compared to what you are approving tonight.
Mazurik.
Yes.
Flickling.
Yes.
Duchenko.
Yes.
Hanson.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Belt. Yes. Flores.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next up is the treasurer's report.
All right. Balance in the super now account at the end of October was $7,905,856.22. Outstanding checks totaled $170,648.99. The October payroll expense carryover totaled $76,966.89, leaving the balance in the bank account at the end of October at $7,658,240.34. Lunch program balance ended the month at $39,307.16. Impress fund at $5,000, giving the total balance at $7,702,547.50. Investment accounts balance at $5,349,076.70, leaving the balance of all funds as of 10/31 at $13,051,624.20. October receipts totaled $824,623.42. Expenses $1,333,159.09. Education fund balance $7,135,253.13. Building fund $2,692,661.78. Bond and interest $149,974.65. Transportation fund $1,436,472.60. IMRF $219,297.95. Working cash fund $359,069.27. Tort fund balance $482,278.23. Life safety ended at $576,616.59. October interest for the month at First Community was $30,583.50. Just wanted to point out the rate did drop by 0.3% as expected. With the rate drop this last week, we'll probably see that drop again. So just something to keep an eye on. The state made a few distributions in October. The normal state aid, $350,880. Special ed orphanage, $16,442.55. Special ed private facility, $38,3639. Special ed transportation, $64,168.45. And regular transportation, $89,916.48. And then we had the 8th real estate distribution for $186,836.64. And that's all she wrote.
Any questions, comments? I know Dr. Gam already went over the big payment.
Oh, yeah.
That's about it, huh? All right. I need a motion to approve the treasurer's report as presented.
So moved. Second.
Flickman.
Yes.
DeChenko.
Yes.
Hanson.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Belt.
Yes.
Flores.
Yes.
Missouri.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next up are our staff reports, starting with Miss Nicole Black.
Hello again. There are a couple of things I wanted to highlight from my board report, and then a couple of things that I forgot to put in there. So, first of all, we had our SLT meeting today where we finalized our school improvement goals. We are focusing a lot on math facts, oral reading, fluency. So, we have all the data broken down by grade levels. We're looking for 20% growth from each of the grade levels, except for 4th grade because they wouldn't be able to make that growth because they're within 80%. So, of where we would like them to be. And then our third goal, as a staff, we've been talking a lot about having students involved in data and knowing, not too much, not like a pressure point or anything like that, but a lot of times kids take the STAR test and because it's not a grade, they never hear or see anything about it again. Same thing with IAR, the kids take the test and if their parents choose to talk about that report that they bring home, they hear about it. If not, it's kind of like a test that they don't hear about again. So our goal this year is just to have a conversation a couple of times a year before the kids do their winter benchmarking, saying, here's where you were at in the fall. You're going to take that test again next week, do your best, and we hope that you do better than you did in the fall. So those are the goals that we're working on at elementary school. Also, today, yes, today's Wednesday, today is World Kindness Day, so we are doing some kindness activities at the elementary school throughout the week. I was trying to do something a little bit different. We have some dress-up days, which we do, and I have kindness bingo and acts of kindness and things like that we're doing. But today at the school, we voted to adopt an animal from the zoo. So we're going to show kindness throughout the year for raising money for that animal, learning about the animal, kind of what the zoo does and how we can help take care of that animal for the rest of the school year. So.
Did you adopt the bobcat?
No, that wasn't a choice.
Did they decide on what animal?
Yes. It was very close. It was only 8-vote difference, which I was like, oh my gosh. So then I was worried about the Google form. It really came down to it, which I was surprised. And I'm pretty sure it was the penguins. It's on my desk sitting there. But, so that's what we did today because we're kind of excited about that. So the lunch was a little bit louder than usual. Yeah, and then the third thing I wanted to bring up that I'm sure everyone had a chance to read, but I was very excited and very proud of my staff that our school received the excellent designation.
Exemplary, not excellent,
Yeah,
exemplary.
excuse me. Designation from the state, and I have some activities that we're going to be doing on Friday to recognize staff and also to show the students what a big deal it was, and we all work together as a team to do that, so.
How does that get, who decides that, or how do they decide?
So I think it's a link, the state does, in my board report, because I was interested in the same thing. There is a hyperlink that you can push on and it shows, I think there's 8 different areas, and each one of those areas are rated differently. So like looking at growth on IER tests, that's the largest percent. It's where 25% of how they figure out the overall designation. And then our truancy is 20%, and then there's, I'm trying to remember,
The 5 essentials.
Yep, completion of the 5 essential survey. So if you click on that link, you can see where it's all broken down and how
It shows our chronic absenteeism.
Right. Yeah.
Those are always
it's a
not.
school report card.
Yeah.
And it's various components of the school report card.
Right, and again, each one of them is kind of weighted differently.
But exemplary is the highest
Yes.
score that you
I
can
know,
get.
and
So
only
that is a
10
big deal. You need to
only
keep
10%,
saying it.
I know, only 10% of the schools in the state get that.
Yes, 10% of
And
the
I
whole state.
do have a big old banner that's going outside of the school. I'm trying to keep it a surprise. So, it's not going up as a surprise.
Don't tell anyone.
It's going up on Friday. There's some fun like that. I'm really whispering. We're going to have a red carpet going to the office for the teachers and some prizes and a lunch. And
Oh, it's a big
not
deal.
prizes, but like little baking things and stuff like that.
Thank you.
So, any questions?
No.
Good job.
Yes. Okay, next is Dr. Kwasny.
First, I want to thank all the parents for coming to our parent-teacher conferences. We had a great turnout. A lot of our teachers were booked solid, so that was awesome to see the involvement. For those who couldn't make it, there were some emails and chats going back and forth, so it was a great turnout. I also want to give a shout out to the band and choir students and the directors of the programs. They had a very nice concert. And one more shout out I wanted to give was to Student Council and Bobcat Pride. They had a lot of different fun activities for our Fall Spirit Week. They had activities during the day. We had a fun game, basketball game where they had a lot of different giveaways and activities as well. And then on the academic front, I kind of wanted to share a little bit of an update about our student supports. So I shared with the board that in Q2, we were going to help our students who we are identifying as our bubble students, those who just missed meeting on the IAR. So I started that in Q2, and 3 of our teachers were working with each grade level to try to give them an extra little bump to hopefully help them meet for the IAR this year. That is going to continue, and it was very well received. I was a little bit worried, I shared, that people were going to say, uh-oh, is my student struggling that much? I don't know if I want them to be in that program or not. So it was very well received. Parents said, yes, we would like that extra help, and it was for math specifically. So that went over well. We had a couple parents opt out, but then we were able to include other students who were also our bubble identified students as well. So for Q3, we're going to continue with that, but for our 7th grade, we're going to have the bubble students work with Mr. Hilger 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. So instead of just the 2, it's going to be 5 days. So we are excited to see how that growth will look.
that will be IAR, that was back in the day, IAR prep for this upcoming test for the 7th graders. So we will see how, that makes a difference. Some of the bubble students will stay the same, the students that we worked with for quarter 2, and then some of it might change just based on their progress when we look at the data. And then we're going to take the test, another benchmarking test in December to help us with our committee identify who those students will be for quarter 3. So we'll see how that goes. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
The junior high was commendable. I mean, I still should be celebrating. It's commendable.
Commendable is just one
Yes.
step down,
Yeah.
so it's nice.
ELA
It's
and
nice.
science were great, math we're working on.
We're getting there.
Growth, but not enough.
High school commendable, what do you have to say?
That's it. Speaking of that wonderful concert that was the concert for the hungry, I did put that in here and I want to say something like Mr. Nathan Snow got a call from Tim Goldrick, who has the food pantry. Wanted to extend his thanks for those involved with the food donations. He mentioned how impressed he was with how much non-perishable food was brought in and what a big impact it will have on the community and those needing assistance, especially at Thanksgiving. So I thought that was nice. I don't know if it was more or less, but that little back pantry by the kitchen with the athletic entry, I mean, it was pretty full. So I do appreciate that, and I think that's very nice of Mr. Goldberg to say that. Also, and I don't know, and I didn't ask immediately, but ILMEA was this last Saturday for us. And we had 2 kids go to Elmhurst College. I don't know if that's something that like next month, because the board meeting is the same time the winter concert, so maybe those 2 kids could come in here real quick and Mrs. like Lake Becker or Mr. Hodek could talk just briefly and then they could go perform. Because they are very proud of their kids. I'm very proud of our 2 kids that went to. And I'm assuming you had some at the junior high as well. Maybe that's something, because what they're come across, it's just like our kids going to state, sport-wise, it's their state, so can we get recognized? And I thought, if I can bring that to you, if we could do that maybe next month, I can talk to those guys. So I thought that was pretty cool. So if that would be, if you would talk to yours, maybe.
We have already spoken about it and they are coming.
Oh, great.
It's already planned.
Yeah. Oh,
Your
okay.
idea is a plan.
Oh, okay, well, thanks. So, and then the last couple things. We had the Beecher Fire Department come in over fire prevention. It's been a couple years since that has happened, but I did like the fact that they brought in Logan Turney, who graduated from here and went to Iowa State, was going to do something, but then came back and was working, I think, I don't know if you call it the Fire Academy or whatever, and he really enjoyed the experience and talked about that. So I do appreciate when kids leave and then are willing to come back. I'm not saying he really wanted to talk at the assembly, but he did a nice job. And so I want to thank the fire department. I want to thank Logan Turney for coming in. And then we had Officer SRO Hansen come in for our lockdown and go through some scenarios, talk about it, give scenarios over the intercom, and then our teachers talk about, hey, what would you do? When would you barricade? When would you leave? What would you go? Those types of things. So we do appreciate that as well. So we've only got one more. I guess we've got the tornado drill and then one more fire drill, but we got those cleaned up. And lastly, Joe, if you would take like 30 seconds. I'm really proud of this new screen projector speaker system in the small gym. I appreciate you guys paying for it, and it's really going to, I think, help us out if it's games, if it's assemblies, if it's just speaking to kids, if there's something the community needs. Junior high and the elementary already have it. So, and I'm not smart enough to speak on it, so I'm going to ask this guy right here.
We can just make some videos for graduation and stuff.
Maybe.
Come on, Mr. Ken.
Maybe. Maybe.
Yeah, so we have a big, over 200-inch screen. It's got a nice, reliable, high brightness laser projector. We have Bluetooth connections, headphone jack, wireless mics. So we have a lot of things we didn't have before, even connecting with an HDMI. So prior to that, we just had these 75-inch TVs for that huge space. So really, it wasn't the best option. So we're really happy that we have somewhere to have good audio. There's 8 speakers, 2 subwoofers. So it's got really a lot of better quality audio as well as a large screen.
And then we've used it because we did our district-wide verbal de-escalation training in the small gym. So it was nice. It worked.
They get our work really
Nice
well.
job, nice job. Yeah, a couple hiccups, but that's first. And that's what I have. Any questions? Thank you.
The presentation was commendable.
That's all I got.
There you go,
Sorry.
there you
That's all I have. That's all I have. Now, with the two good guys are coming up next, or actually, you're next.
Actually, Dr. Gayham.
Just because he's tenured as a teacher. All right, we only had one FOIA this past month. It was a commercial FOIA. I was satisfied. I'm going to default most of my time to these wonderful gentlemen, but there's two things I wanted to address because I do see we have some public members here. The Press Plus 116, which addresses Title IX. This past weekend, President-elect Trump did come out and specifically state that he is going to do an overhaul again of Title IX and some sections of the Department of Education. So I've been in contact with the attorneys at IASBO and as well as Press Plus to make sure we're not going to get kind of fine. So that is going to be tabled until that new rollout comes back out. So at this point in time, there's no movement on Title IX. It's going to default back to what has always existed here at Beecher 200U. So I just want to make sure that you all saw that. I know there was going to be a public comment, but I want to make sure that was addressed. Secondly, at the junior high this past weekend, we had a significant power surge. I sent you guys an email. It did some damage. By whatever you want to say, we got extremely lucky that for the most part, we had one teacher's computer get fried. We were able to replace that. But it shut down both the boiler systems. And so Mr. Hurley came out with Art from Key West to address the boiler system. We did have GRP come out with their group, Trico, and they're like, it's not ours, but we're glad to help. But we had Key West, we had Mr. Hurley there from Hurley Electric. They were able to not bypass, but they were able to get one of the boilers up and working before the end of the day. And no, the temperature in the building was probably 60, once you had bodies in there, 65. A little colder than it normally is, but you know, I walked around numerous times. It was not dangerous. By the time Mr. Hurley and Art were able to get everything up and running, it was fine. I went in this morning, I checked everything. Both boilers were running smoothly. It was nice and warm, it was 70 degrees in that building today. We also found out from Mr. Du Bois that we think it may have also fried one of the circuits in our scoreboard. Obviously, that's not one of the things high on the priority of Jack. Make sure you check this. But apparently, we had an 8th grade game going on, and so they're figuring out what to. We'll address that tomorrow. The good news is we have heat for kids. Scoreboards are kind of secondary in my world. So I wanted to let you guys know that happened at the junior high. Knock on wood, it seems like the boilers are fine, the pumps are fine, the circulators are fine. So it's just going to be an electric bill.
Do we know what caused the surge? Isn't it surge protected at the...
So the relay, the breakers themselves is exactly what protected us.
Okay.
So we got very lucky there. I know Art was a little worried that even with the breakers there, it may have still gone past. It seems right now the big equipment has been saved. And it was an anomaly with Tiffany. It just sometimes that happens with power. But I have not gotten a comment. It's been amazing in terms of getting a hold of people. So I've not got an answer of what happened specifically.
Okay.
So, however, I'm going to default the rest of my time. We'll start with Mr. Du Bois because he was very excited when I talked to him today. I said, "Do you want to talk to the board?" He goes, "Do I ever?" And see, he probably has the best beard in the district, so I have to give him that. Huh?
It's gone now.
It's better than mine. So it's rivaling Mr. Herman. So really, Brandon's kind of here. If you have any questions about our sports programs, things that we're moving forward with, he's here because he's here.
Because I was asked to be here.
He was voluntold. Voluntold.
Couple of things. Our fall seasons ended up. We had a lot of success, as you saw, with a lot of teams that were here. We even had success with teams that weren't invited because they didn't quite make it as far as some of these other teams. Junior high softball won another regional. Volleyball, high school volleyball that is, won both the RBC regular season championship and the tournament championship. I believe that's the 5th year in a row for the regular season for them. We had boys soccer win the Rifles Cup for the first time ever. And they won the RBC as well for the 2nd year in a row. So again, a lot of success, even though we didn't have all those programs here. The other thing is we're moving already into winter sports. Next week, the girls' basketball team starts their fall classic, which is a huge fundraising event for the girls' basketball team. And then right around the corner, we'll be at Christmas break already, so the year's moving quick for athletics. So.
And Mr. Du Bois, Mr. Meyer and I did have a conference call today with a sports facility management company, and so I will discuss that a little bit later. But Ms. Flickling will have to have a facility meeting sometime. Yeah, I know you'd be excited. So they gave us some information.
Did anybody have any questions about athletics?
Ask one, please. Just ask
I was like, you know it's gonna be no.
One question.
I can ask one if you want.
Oh, yes, yes.
What do we have to do to get 6th grade to play soccer for junior high in the spring?
That's a conference role.
Right,
I
so
could
how
bring
can we
up
get
to the
it?
conference. Part of the issue is some of those bigger schools, they want that role because they get enough numbers with 8th and 7th graders, and they want them to have first dibs on playing. But I can bring it up at an AD meeting, and the next one's in January. So, yeah.
Doesn't hurt to ask, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sport lesson.
Great question. And you knew the answer. See, you were worried to ask a question.
That's why
how
I
to
gave it. I
answer.
knew it would be an easy answer, easy question.
Are we going back to the bowling now? I don't mean to speak
Yeah, they
for
said
you.
they're kidding
Bowling
Tom.
alley,
They're
we're practicing
they were there
right
today.
now. That opened back up early November,
Yep.
and they were quick to answer my email and say, hey, can we come back?
Great news.
Yes.
Great
So we
news.
didn't have to go to Peatone, which I was trying to line up, which would have worked out fine, but just less travel for the coaches, players, it's better overall.
Well, thank you, Mr. Du Bois.
Great job.
No,
Ms. Bell, can you go home?
Yes, you can go home, Mr. Du Bois.
I mean, you're welcome to stay.
I would love to stay, but I gotta be my babysitter, so.
She has a name and she's your wife. She's not the babysitter.
She's the one I'm patient,
Mr. Duncan is my second speaker. He's going to talk specifically about some online safety things we're going to be providing families, and you have a document in front of you. Go ahead, Joe. Sorry, I'll stop stealing your thunder.
Yes, thanks for taking the time. So a couple quick tech updates. One thing is about our refresh cycle. So we have a few things kind of coming at the same time. We have ECF-funded Chromebooks that are scattered throughout all of our grade levels. We have iPads in first grade, and then in second grade, we have a specific device type that has a smaller screen, but it's touch. And those are all coming to end of life. So while those are all coming to end of life, it's a good time to kind of simplify our refresh cycle. We also had 3rd and 4th grade, we're kind of getting the oldest Chromebooks. So some of our Chromebooks could be 6 or more years old. It's kind of whatever survived, it's kind of just going there. So we've been making it work, but because everything's kind of coming to end of life at the same time, we're going to go just like we have the grades 5 above. You'll get a new computer in 1st, 5th, and 9th. Previous it was just 5th and 9th. And it'll be a touch Chromebook for 1 through 4. It'll be of similar size, maybe a little smaller, and then 5 through 12 will be a traditional Chromebook like what they've been getting. That way they won't have to switch. You could have a first grader go from first grade iPad, then the second grade Chromebook small screen, then a big Chromebook, and then in 4th grade they could even get another Chromebook. So every year they could be switching a form factor or a device type. So this is just going to be a lot more congruent for like, hey, here's 1st through 12th is having the same device type. And then get used to the operating system. It's just they're going to be better at the computer, so it's going to waste less time of the teachers. 1st grade will have some bear the biggest burden on that, but it'll just be easier for them. And along with that refresh cycle, 12th grade, once they get finished with it, Dr. Gam and I have been exploring our options on just having students who meet a couple of criteria. If they've been in the district for 4 years and they haven't broken anything in those 4 years, 9 through 12, and they've been paying their fees, that they're part of the school, we give them a free Chromebook. So that's something that can, they've taken care of it. It's kind of a carrot. Give them an incentive to take good care of their Chromebook. They can have something that'll get them that 2 or 3 years post high school. And if you did have a broken, let's say you didn't meet that criteria, you had a broken screen at some point within the 9 through 12, we still want to offer something, so for $50, you could still keep that same Chromebook. And ideally, it would be the Chromebook they started off with. So they take good care of it in 9th grade, then go all the way through 12th grade and have a nice Chromebook if they take care of it. If they don't take care of it, they will have what they have, so. Is there
And
any
that's why I
questions?
remember Mr.
I'm
Mazurek bringing that up, like when we did it, if we had somewhere they could buy or something on the last board, and so that's good that the idea kind of took off.
Do we have touch and then no touch? Why do we have something different for the grades? Is that something teacher preference? Is that what the teachers wanted at those grades, or like easy, like?
Well, a couple reasons. They were coming from 1st grade having, they start pre-K and K with an iPad.
Right.
So they're used to touching, and it's kind of a transition. It lets them have a touch like they're used to with an iPad, but they still have their keyboard. So by the time they're exiting 4th grade, now they've gotten used to the keyboard. They may or may not be using touch more or less, but they at least can use the keyboard and mouse and everything. So it's kind
So
of
just
getting
because
them-
of the phasing in of it?
the form factor, yeah, getting them more familiar with it and just giving them, so it's easier for them to phase in. We also did talk with the teachers and made sure they were
So the
okay with
teachers
everything.
were okay with doing that phase in and
Yeah.
coming?
Yeah, they're for that. And then the other thing I want to talk about is our cyber safety hub we have, and then some upcoming accounts that we're activating. On our website, and this is a really great resource for parents, we have a cyber safety hub. So under Beecher200U.org, click on parents, and then the bottom it says cyber safety hub. This is an online safety resource for parents. It allows them to see, what is things like what is TikTok? What is the age appropriate for TikTok? There's actually a minimum account age. Do they allow chat, sharing videos? Do they have self-destructing messages or photos? In other words, can you send a photo and as soon as they click it, it's there for 3 seconds and then it just deletes itself? So there's a lot of things, can they directly chat to each other? So if you're a parent and you don't really know this and you would have to maybe download it and install it and do all this research, this has everything in one place. You can review like bullying guides, screen time, all that. So it's a really great resource for parents. I encourage every parent to look at that. There's like slang, like internet slang. So we all know like BRB, be right back, but there's hundreds of entries and I did not know more than half of them. So,
And you can see what the kids are doing on the computers too, right? At home and at school with their account?
Sure,
or-
so that's the next part is,
Okay.
other than that resource for parents, we're activating an account that's gonna let them view outside of school hours what their student is doing on their school provided device. So let's say it's past 3 p.m., let's say it's at night, 10 p.m., and you say, hey, I'm doing homework. Are they really doing it? We're giving the teachers or the parent a tool to be able to look and see the history. What did they search for? What videos were they watching? What were they doing at 12 a.m.? The parents can also use those optional tools to turn off the internet and say, anything past 9 p.m., I really don't want that device active. It'll just block all internet. Or they could say, I only want them on these 5 websites that they use for school, nothing else. So it gives the parents a tool that they can use to control and monitor a little bit on the school provided device, so they don't have to just feel helpless and kind of have it.
Well,
be-
and free, pay for
It's-
those. We've done the Circle, we've done the Bark, we've done they're all additional costs that you have to do, and once again, you have to learn how to use it, how to monitor. The kids learn how to jailbreak it because they're smarter than me in technology, so this is free, it's a really great thing to offer.
Yeah, and there's also a component, and this is through Custodio, which is our provider, and they're tied in with our filters. So we filter the devices no matter what, just want to be clear on that. It's not like they're unfiltered when they get home and it's the total Wild West. They're always filtered, but there's so many millions of websites
That pop
that you
up all
can't
the time.
truly, they're going to find a way around it. So this is just an idea to kind of get your eyes, if you're a parent, on the behavior, what they're doing, maybe what they're trying to bypass or what they're searching for. And then we're going to try to deploy this before Thanksgiving break if it's possible. If not, we'll do it after, and we'll be sending some communication home. Parents will have an option too of adding a second device. So this is through Custodio, but let's say they had their school device that they were seeing all the history and searches, and they said, man, this would be great, but my kid has a phone or a tablet, and I wish I knew. you can actually sign up for one free account and attach it to this. It's not related to Beecher 200U because it's on your personal device, but that gives you unlimited like locks. So you can go to one dashboard and see everything your student's doing as long as they only have that one extra device besides the school device. So that's free also, just a kind of a good one dashboard if you wanted to get some insight into what your student's doing.
Great.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Questions, concerns, anything? Thank you. That sounds really
I
cool.
had that when my kids were in sixth grade.
Thanks for making me look good, Joe.
Okay, thanks guys.
Thank
Sounds
you.
good.
No, I had to do a lot of research on TikTok.
Like I said, we've tried bark, circle, all sorts of, they can bypass it. Okay, Dr. Gaham, are you done? Does that conclude your?
Can I go home now?
No, you have to.
Oh, okay. Yes, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, so that is our staff reports taken care of. Next is our committee updates. I will go ahead and start. A CARBS meeting is tomorrow, so I have nothing. Next.
Beecher Education Foundation, their next meeting is the 21st, so they're still planning their event, so update in December.
Youth Commission, yeah, just go around.
BYC did the haunted house with the junior high kids last month, and it was really well attended, so it was very exciting that there was interest in that. We're hoping to continue to do that for a while every year. And besides that, we really don't have anything new to report because our next meeting is next Tuesday at the Village Hall at 7:30. As always, we're always looking for volunteers. Come on out.
I'm really glad they brought the junior high back. That was
Yeah.
always,
It was fun. I thought I was
something
gonna be
great for
brave
them.
this time. I was gung ho, like, yep, I'm gonna be a chaperone. Chaperone.
I saw them all getting on the bus. I drove by when I was like, oh my gosh, there's so many of them. There was a lot.
Did you have two, did they have two buses?
Yeah, we did, and I ended up being one of the chaperones that sat on the bus for the children.
I always had to do that, but I wanted to go in.
Didn't make it through. I came this close, but in the end, I couldn't do it.
For the PTO, they had a meeting this evening, but I was not able to get there before getting here, so I don't have anything.
The PTO did purchase a program. They are coming out, help me out, Miss Black.
It's like smart.
Yeah, no, what's the date? Yeah, so.
When's the date?
Yeah, do we know the date? The kids?
Yes, we do. It's on my school calendar, but it's not in my brain. Give me a second.
Okay. So PTO did buy, it's a K-8, so what I'm looking for, guys. Not curriculum, not webinar, assembly. Yeah, somebody's gonna come out and talk to the kids. And PTO purchased that. Miss Miller's been working with them, and so that was, they did go through. And that date the kids will be having that assembly is definitely
Wednesday, January 29th.
January 29th, which I think is a Wednesday?
I think that was
Wednesday, January 29th.
That was in her report. That was in your board report, I think.
Ms. Black, that's why you're exemplary, right there.
I read it somewhere, so I don't know if I know it.
Sure. And the parent presentation is from 5:30 to 7 that night as well.
There you go.
So it's at my building, your building, and then
So thank you to PTO for doing that for our kids and our families.
The Booster Club, we met last week. We are going to continue to do like all the events at the high school basketball games. We have also taken over, I guess, or decided to do the concession stands at the junior high, which have been wonderful. We did girls basketball, we're doing girls volleyball and boys basketball now. So if any of your students need community service hours, email the Beecher Booster Club, and we'll be more than happy to give them the hours to help us out. There will always be an adult there with them, but we also are purchasing a new video scores table for the high school. That'll be bigger, so all of the adults can sit back there that are helping out with the game. And it'll be a lot of fun, and we can do some fun things on there.
And
So
maybe a
that's-
scoreboard for the junior high.
Just
pop that out there.
Slowly we're giving back and donating is where a lot of the kids can benefit from it, so, because a lot of sports use the gym, so.
And I've said this before, and I'll say it again, the work that you guys do with the Booster Club, you guys generally do give back to the schools. And it's a lot, and it's quickly, and it's seen, and it is appreciated. I know Mr. Meyer has said it lots of times. Brandon has said it with scoreboards. They do a lot of good work, and I appreciate it.
We do. So we'll have another event, in the spring too, so.
We had for scholarship, there was a meeting. I was unfortunately unable to attend because I was at regionals for baseball. And I have not received the minutes yet, so once I take a look at that. But I know the one thing we're looking at is kind of revamping some of how we do the scholarships, presentation-wise, and just changing things up a little bit. So once I hear that, I will share out.
Chamber will meet Monday, but they are in the middle of the Christmas trees along Dixie, and
it's a great song.
And tree lighting on December 1st. And if the board can have one free tree if anyone wishes to do it.
Dr. Gann, how are you going to decorate our tree this year?
Well, is it in the design of what Dr. Quasney, Ms. Black, and Mr. Meyer think is best to put on there? So
I think it's a group.
we would love to have that happen.
Or you could delegate it
Sorry,
to,
I'm really busy.
or you could delegate it to a student organization.
Ms. Black, that was a commendable answer.
If you want school colors, I have a lot of orange and black lights and balls from last year. When we did the tree.
Okay, next we're up to executive session?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I need a motion to proceed to executive session for the purpose of 5 ILCS 120-2C1, 5 ILSC 120-2C6, and 5 ILSC 120-2C11.
So moved.
Second.
DeChenko?
Yes.
Hanson?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Belt?
Yes.
Flores?
Yes.
Mazurek?
Yes.
Flickman?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Mess it up.
He said, but it only takes like 5 minutes.
Okay, are we ready? Oh wait, no. Are you ready? Okay, it is 7:38. We are back from executive session to our regular board meeting on November 13th. Everyone still present? Did we just get started? Okay, so next up is old business. So I need a motion to approve the sale of the Miller and Racine property for $350,000.
So moved.
Second.
Just so you know, that was a public bid opening. It happened at 2 o'clock. We had one bidder, and they matched every spec that you guys had as part of your public notice.
Herman?
Yes.
Belt?
Yes.
Flores?
Yes.
Mazurek?
Abstain.
Flickman?
Yes.
DeChenko?
Yes.
Hanson?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, next up is new business. So we have a whole bunch of employments. Does anyone need any of them separated out? Or can I group them together?
Group.
Okay, so I need a motion to acknowledge the resignation of Darwin Kane. Does he say Kane or
Yes,
Cohen?
Kane.
Okay.
Former board president.
As a full-time custodian, Nick Joyce as district mechanic, Dennis Finnegan as full-time bus driver, and Adam Shearer as high school assistant softball coach.
So moved.
Second.
Belt?
Yes.
Flores?
Yes.
Mazurek?
Yes.
Flickman?
Yes.
DeChenko?
Yes.
Hanson?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Motion carries.
I need a motion to approve the employment of Angel Heron and Veronica Gomez Rangel as full-time custodians, Ryan Benka as district mechanic, Gregory Braun as full-time bus driver, Amanda Higgison as full-time bus monitor, and to approve Deshaun Doss as a volunteer high school basketball coach.
So moved.
Second.
Flores.
Yes.
Missouri.
Yes.
Flickman. Yes. DeChenko.
Yes.
Hanson.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Belt.
Yes.
Motion carries. Okay. Next up is our potential disciplinary action of a licensed employee. I need a motion to approve the resolution authorizing the issuance of a notice to remedy to Jessica Carter for the reasons discussed in closed session.
So moved.
Second.
Missouri.
Yes.
Flickman.
Yes.
DeChenko.
Yes.
Hanson.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Belt.
Yes.
Flores.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next, we have already discussed how we have tabled our Press Plus 116 first reading per Gaham and his superintendent report. So moving on to the North Lang proposal.
Inlang.
Proposal for snow removal.
So this is just an updated cost sheet. We've had them now, heck Larry, I think every year that I've been here. They do phenomenal work. They're very local. They respond immediately. Nathan asked if I wanted to go to bid. The amount of work and the good work they do, I said, no, just get an updated pricing list. They did not go up a whole lot from last year. I think salting went up just a little bit because just the economy that we live in. But other than that, that's the proposal.
Do they do the sidewalks too, or just the,
We're sidewalks.
We are
Yep,
we
they do staff lot, student lot, the drives, and the back lot as well.
So who does the sidewalks then?
That would be Angel and Baylin
Okay.
and Nathan, myself.
Whenever it snows, whoever's on?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And well, go ahead and, well, I would say now. I've also told Nathan to go out, he's trying to find, so we have a grasshopper right now. He's trying to find a blade for that, but he's gonna go to Menards and get some, like, industrial snow blowers to really start helping us out, because right now we have shovels and it's kinda silly. And so, he's been given permission by me to go to Menards and get some actual legit snow removal things, so.
Speed it up some.
Yep, and
Okay.
be more effective.
Yes. I need a motion to approve the Enlang
Doing great.
snow removal proposal as submitted.
So moved. Second.
DeChenko?
Yes.
Hanson?
Yes.
Herman?
Yes.
Belt? Yes. Flores?
Yes.
Missouri?
Yes.
Flickman?
Yes.
Motion carries. Next up, we're on other discussion items. First point is the clear residency system.
So last year in January, you guys approved the system. The renewal is coming up. It's one of those that I need to know if you guys are fine with continuing use of the program. I'll tell you, the program, I found as a superintendent, as the person in charge of residency, I've found it very useful. I haven't used it as much in the last month or two, which is good, because that means that it's kind of tapered off, but throughout the summer, it's been very useful. It's helpful with the registration process, and like I said, we've gotten three people so far out. Two of them have been here for quite some time, and we got them out. And it's helped with our police assistance on some of those as well. So,
You said that, okay.
when the question is asked by the police to the superintendent, do you want to press charges, the answer is yes.
You said even if we not got rid of, but found one or two people that covers the price because the taxes that was already paid.
Theoretically speaking, your price per pupil is around $13,500. So
And it was $10,000, right?
it was 11 or 12.
Okay.
I'd have to look at the updates.
So getting rid of the.
I remember we talked about one covered.
Yeah.
It covered the cost of what the taxes
That's what-
people are paying for taxes.
So you just want an advisory, and this isn't up for the vote yet?
So this is just making sure I can engage with them and say, hey, give us an updated quote, and then next month I'll have you guys a formal.
I mean, I think it's made your life
You
so
already
much
made one,
easier.
yeah.
I think it's made registration easier. I've spoke nothing but high on it to other districts. Like, I said, I even told him to call you. I said, call Dr. Gaham, because I think it works great.
What is nice is when you have new students, either the preschool program was not open at the beginning of the year, there was a wait list, so that when the preschool could open to those children, first question we asked them, did you clear residency earlier? Do they have siblings? Yes and yes. Fabulous, this is the form we need, come on in. So it, rather than have to start all over and ask the parents for the same stuff, that it is, when there are siblings starting, just
And it's been really helpful, because I apologize, when we still use National Investigation, but it's, hey, here's all the information that we've already done. I've brought Mike out with me on some of the house visits. I've done house visits on my own, just to see if I can find the person there. So it's been very, very helpful. Because I can tell them where it's at. No, you live in Pleasant Lakes. How do I know? It says right. Because your vehicle registration for the last 7 years has been here. I'm sorry, Ms.
No, I was just gonna say, and I think it's easier on our, on the legit people who do live here with that process, you know. and easier
Yes.
moving
Yeah,
forward.
because once
Yes.
you do it, you're good.
You're good.
Like,
Yeah.
you're good, you don't have to get the registration, is a breeze.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, engage away.
I'll bring it to you next month then. Thank you.
And then the 2024 levy.
So I provided you guys the preliminary numbers. CPI was 3.4%. And so using that wonderful formula in the P-TEL county that we live in, the rate will go from 535 down to 508. I will obviously explain that a lot more in December, but because it's only 3.4%, actually it rounds to 3.6, we will not need a truth and taxation hearing. So next month's levy will just be me presenting it to you, kind of like I do with the board. I'm sorry, not the board, the budget, and then you'll.
I've had
after
enough
that.
levy talk for a lifetime, okay? I'm sorry. For the past couple of years, I'm done with levy talk.
Yep. So again, it's a good thing. When your rate goes down, that means your property values have gone up.
Oh yeah, there was a
So-
seesaw or something I remember from the
And
video,
again,
right?
And I will address it once more, and I know it doesn't come off clear enough. Does that mean my taxes go up? I can't answer that question for you because I don't know what your property is doing. You could be, like certain governors remove toilets from your building and your property value would go down. You could do a lot of improvements on your house and your property would. I can't tell you what your specific, but I promise you in December I will show you where to find it and how to figure that out.
Okay.
So,
Right.
okay.
Okay.
But you have the preliminary numbers where the ed fund, O&M, so on and so forth, where the money would come locally from those. I do have one other item that I thought about today. Well, there's two, but you guys don't know about the other one yet.
Okay.
I need, it was in my board report, I need direction on what you guys want me to do with this junior high sign.
Oh, the sign.
That's a beautiful thing.
So,
Well, I mean, it depends. If the junior high needs a scoreboard.
so.
So sorry, but.
So the foundation has offered to cover half.
And they gave us 2 years, correct? I believe it was.
I'm sure that's supposed to be.
Oh.
They gave us
it.
So
I barely read.
I don't think it's something that we have to do right away. They gave us time to make that decision if we wanted to pay for the other half. I would say a little more than half. We already said that if they would pay for the sign itself, we would pay for the labor, so that would put the district at a little more than half for that sign. So.
About 11,000 and some change.
Yeah.
Just dropped.
So,
I mean, this may be unpopular, but I think with the window wraps we're doing, that has a lot more curb appeal than that sign right now. And also.
Broken, right?
correct.
Yeah,
Oh, it's not
yeah,
100%
but it's still
broken.
there. I mean, it looks decent. It just, it doesn't actually
It still
work.
functions, but
Yeah.
not the way that it functions. I agree with Ashley.
But
We
the
just
window
need a
wraps,
big-
I think, have a lot more bang for
It
our
hasn't
buck.
worked for this long.
Yeah, and if we have to end up buying a new scoreboard, like, it's just something,
So what I'll
it's
do
a
is-
want, not a
What do you use it
need.
for?
So, I mean, it'd be an informational, it's
It's
just like
curb
the
appeal.
village thing and thing like that.
Like how we kind of talked about, kind of making it look
Right.
nice, having working things in front of your school. Like, I see that aspect of it, but like, it's not super noticeable, I don't think. And I like the window wrap thing. I think that's just so much more bang for our buck at this time, maybe, like you said.
I'll be honest, if we're not gonna replace it, I would probably take it down.
And just put
That's
a
what I was
sign
saying. Is it
There's
worth-
other options.
Yeah,
There
is
is
it
other
worth
options.
Review other
having
options.
it?
So
Like,
we
as I
can-
said, how much, like, it's at that little, I don't know.
Well, okay, so we can go into a lot more of it at this time. But, I mean, this school has an informational sign out in the front. The elementary school has a reader board where they can change their signs. There's not anything like that at the junior high. So we just made, in my opinion, we just made an investment in the window coverings at the junior high. There are less expensive options to make that sign look more attractive than it does now. We can update it for a minimal cost. But then that would probably take it, in my opinion, it would take redoing it as a digital sign with that reader, off the board for the foreseeable future, which I think at this time is probably the better option,
I will engage the sign company and see some other options. And I will bring it to the facilities meeting that we will have
Yep.
sometime.
Soonish.
Do we know when the window reps are?
So yeah, I talked to Jake, so that's another fun story. As I said, I've had a wonderful couple weeks. That should be done printing in the next week. Jake is, he's up his side of the bargain. The problem I'm running into is the window company. The window company that was gonna replace those panes, who told us 2 to 3 weeks, decided to just tell us last week, 2 to 3 weeks. Which means that puts us at mid-December for them to replace the windows, and Jake's already said,
It's not gonna
These
stick.
have
way
to
too
have,
cold.
right,
Because-
40 degrees or above.
right, he said, it's gonna be done, your prints will probably be done next week, I can get it done in November. So I'm looking at various options I have for the panes themselves. One of the options I do have is just not replace the panes, because you're not gonna be able to see it you'll see it from the inside of the building, but not from the outside of the building.
That's my vote.
And then in time, have a window company come in and clean those panes by removing the actual removing the interior portion of it, cleaning it. You would lose some insulation value, but it's 5 panels. But to say that I'm gonna replace those panels, ain't gonna happen. Otherwise, you're waiting until the spring to put that on the side of the junior high, and I don't wanna wait that long.
Yeah.
I'm needy.
I feel like if we're gonna do it, we should do it right
Yeah.
now.
Well, and like you said, the ones that are frosted with the wraps on, you don't see
tell
it.
them anyway.
You only see if you're inside. Well, nobody's using those stairwells,
So-
but the
so-
kid like,
No.
Because it goes on the
yeah, it goes on the outside.
Yeah, and so what you would
Because
do
that's why,
is,
and I was like, was it gonna make it
you would
fuzzy?
have a
He's
company
like,
come
no.
in and so it's double pane, you would have them remove. I believe they drill a hole and they clean it. The problem is, once you drill the hole, you've lost the insulation to it. But my hope is that the sunlight that is being limited by the panel itself will kind of make up for some of that insulation we've lost. So, yeah.
And black attracts heat, and it's a black sticker, so
So, or maybe this window company will give me an email tomorrow and just-
everything's done and it's good to go.
Yeah, it's amazing how,
Change
But-
the 24 hours.
Yeah.
I doubt it's gonna happen, but I'm still waiting for Jake to once Jake gets me hey Jack, this is when I'm gonna do it. That kind of puts the timeline on the other company.
Okie dokie.
And then our last thing is, this is Board Recognition Month. So I 100% put these together.
Thanks, Katie.
Yeah, right?
Did you pick out the bags too?
Thank you.
1,000%. If this doesn't scream Jack D. him, actually the monochromatic colors.
That's, yeah.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
very
you very
Ah,
much.
thank you.
All right. Young
And hopefully everybody got to see the pictures on the last page of my board report.
Yes.
Yes.
Again,
Yeah.
thank you again for allowing that opportunity for me. So it was awesome.
It was nice reading
How was
that
Pearl?
large 8 IEP reports full of data.
Say again?
How was Pearl?
I'm extremely grateful. It's the first thing we did because it is very sombering. It is, because like you're on the Arizona, well, you're above the Arizona, obviously, and you realize there's 1,000 people underneath you.
Still there, yeah.
Yep, and there's still oil coming up.
Still oil
underneath.
coming up after this time.
So we did the Arizona first, and then we went to the Missouri, which was, kids love the Missouri. And my favorite, one of my favorite pictures, I think I put it in there, was the old New York.
Oh, yeah.
The soldier
Yeah.
kissing the girl. So my wife and I recreated it, and my son jumped in and mocked us. So, you know, it was a phenomenal place. Very, very humbling to be in that presence, though. So.
I was there on the 50th anniversary when the Japanese ambassador was there and laid a wreath at the site, yeah. That was
something else.
Something else.
Okay, Okay, do we have items for the December board meeting? You've already said we'll have the levy.
The levy's the big thing.
Talk. Nobody, you're going to the thingy. Cannot think of
thingy,
the
I will
names.
definitely be at the-
IAS
Yep.
Yes.
conference.
There you go.
On your
Triple I.
lonesome. You're not making
What are you
Katie
gonna do
go?
without us?
Ma'am, I'm in public I'm in open session, I will not say it. No, there's a lot of good sessions. Press, actually, like I said, I talked to the lady from Press today, they have a session. She goes, I suggest as many people come to this as, I said, I will probably be at that one for sure. But, yeah, it should be good.
Okay, and then we have facilities meeting. How long does she need to have that? Like, when do you need to have it?
I mean, so if we really are serious about the potential of a soccer field, I need to have it before the next board meeting.
Oh, so
With the junior high one?
Huh?
What's that, the junior high field?
So no, it would be a high school field.
The.
So I just need to have a facility meeting before. I have updated number, well, he's gonna give me a formalized updated number. This is a
So
really
with
good conversation today.
Thanksgiving coming up.
Yeah. Still not
So that
cheap,
gives you
but-
maybe like the first week in December? Cause the next board meeting's the 11th.
So our facility, I mean, obviously everybody's invited, but it's
Yeah.
Ashley, Larry, and definitely Ashley, Larry, and Dee.
Cause I'm guessing nobody's gonna wanna meet Thanksgiving week.
Well, I think that
I
would
was gonna say,
probably.
I don't know what everybody's schedules look like, but would next week be crazy?
Next week I'm at AAA.
Oh, so no for next week.
That's annoying.
So you can
Sorry.
do Thanksgiving week or December.
Yeah, I mean, I'm open Thanksgiving week, well, at least Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday I'll probably be baking.
One Wednesday, no school, so.
Oh, yeah, so.
With the first week of December?
Monday, I am volunteering at the Fall Classic at 5:30, but if you want to meet before then, you could do
Monday,
it.
the
25th.
Oh, the 25th?
Yeah, you just happened to mention Thanksgiving week.
Gotcha.
How early?
I mean,
You
What-
said
are you
could do
gone all
that
next week?
Till when?
No, I'm here Monday, Tuesday, but
You wanna do Monday or Tuesday next week?
Yeah, we should do Monday and Tuesday next week.
The week of the
18th.
18th,
it
19th.
can't be Tuesday.
So the
18th.
18th.
So Monday the 18th?
Sorry. I don't have anything on my calendar, so my wife doesn't say I have to do anything that day.
The 18th
All right,
works.
Monday the 18th.
18th works.
Oh, no,
No.
what's today? I can't, it has to be at least a week and a half from today, because it's gonna take him a week to get all the numbers together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
So a week and a half, so you can only do the week of December, that first
Yeah,
week of December.
Yeah, he said, give him a week from today to at least get those numbers together. Whew, that would've been bad.
Cause yeah, then he's gone and then you have Thanksgiving, so
Which
either
the first week of December?
the 25th or first
Yeah.
week of December.
Thursday the 5th?
So what's the earliest we can do that?
In the day?
Time-wise.
I mean, I'm good after 3:30.
Larry?
I'm good.
3:30?
Larry's retired.
Yeah.
Well,
You're the
Larry-
one.
being
Have
courteous.
Larry come in here at
Well,
10:30.
I just know there's a.
We used to have some daytime meetings, remember those?
So there's a commitment later in the evening.
Right.
So if we could do like 4:30?
4 is good for me.
What day are you
December
thinking?
5th?
Day, December 5th?
No, I thought we were talking about the 25th.
No,
No,
she
sorry,
says
Oh.
that's
December
Thanksgiving.
5th.
He's.
December
December
5th. Oh, okay.
Or the week of that December.
Yeah, that week.
That week at all.
The 2nd, 3rd, 4th. I'm open all
Fifth,
those
sixth.
days.
Are you open
I
any
can't
of
do
those
December
days?
3rd.
Yeah, I mean,
Let's do
just
the
as long
then.
as we could do it a little earlier, we just have to.
Do you wanna do 4 then on the 5th?
Because we've got a 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
So 4 p.m. on December
We
5th.
have, Larry and I have a commitment at 6 o'clock. Not,
Congrats.
Are you doing the musical play, the radio show?
Oh.
So December, what are we doing now?
December 5th?
5th
4 o'clock.
at 4.
Let's see if we have.
Maybe I'll come see you That'll be 1, 2, 2.5 weeks after my surgery. We'll see. Maybe not.
So 4 o'clock?
I may not want to get to 4.
4 o'clock on the 5th.
Yep.
And as soon as I get all the information, I will put it all together and send it up to you. Could you contact that sign company for me?
Yeah, I think I might be able to.
Come up with some
I mean, they
options.
did finally bring your other signs after.
Okay, so that would be, we don't have to have, we're tabling Press Plus, we don't have to have any kind of meeting for that. We don't have to have any other, we don't need personnel, we don't need da-da-da-da. Okay, so I need a motion to adjourn said meeting. All in favor, say, oh wait, we need
Who
a
wants to
second.
be second? Because I heard Randy first.
Stacy did.
Was it
Clear as day.
Tiffany?
All in favor, say aye. Opposed, meeting adjourned.
We're home and watch Chicago.